calculating the distribution of parliamentary seats between each party according to election results, and simultaneously learning Excel formulas. Okay, you should prepare an Excel sheet like this. With this, we will see how the seats are divided according to the number of votes obtained by each political party. To do that, you have to prepare this kind of chart. Several Excel formulas are included here. We will consider those one by one. Table of distribution of parliamentary seats among parties. Table of the number of seats approved for each district and the number of votes obtained by the political parties. 1. Table of distribution of parliamentary seats among parties. 2. Table of the number of seats approved for each district and the number of votes obtained by the political parties. Here, except cells with ash color contain formulas in the other cells. In cell D3, district names should be entered in a drop-down box. Cell I3 contains the number of seats for the respective district. For that, the VLOOKUP formula is used here. Also, the formula contained in each cell is shown below. It is essential to write them correctly in the relevant cell. This will not work properly if all the marks, including comma, brackets, are not written correctly. Look at the applicable of this table for this analysis. First, let's look at the contents of table number 2. Table of the number of seats approved for each district and the number of votes obtained by the political parties. The number of votes obtained by the candidates for each district in the 2024 presidential election and the number of seats available for each district are shown here. Only those parties and groups that obtain more than 5% of the declared valid votes cast for each district are entitled to the seats of parliamentarians. So only those parties and groups are included in this table. The first row of the main table includes district name and number of seats to distribute. By entering the name of the district in the relevant cell, D3, the number of seats for each party will be automatically calculated as shown below. The seats value shows the theoretical number of seats obtained by each party according to the number of votes obtained. It is included in cells C6, D6, E6, and F6. And the party with the most votes gets the bonus seat, which is included in a C7, D7, E7, or F7 cell. Directly occupied seats include C8, D8, E8, and F8. How to divide the remaining seats into first remainder, second remainder, and third remainder is contained in cells C9 to F11. Also, except for the bonus seat, the rest of the seats distribution is shown in cells C12, D12, E12, F12. Number of votes is contained in cell G5 and votes per seat in cell I5. The formulas needed to calculate how the remaining seats are divided are shown in cell G8 to cell J12. Also, the pie chart of the seat distribution related to each district is shown below. Here I have used conditional formatting also, which highlights the number of seats of the winning party in the respective color. Here you can type district name manually, and remember to type correct spelling there, otherwise you won't get the desired results here. And you can type percentages. If you want to type percentages, for an example, get Colombo District. You can type any percentage value here like NPP 62%. You can assume 62% for the Colombo District NPP will get percentage, and SJP will get 28%, and Independent get 10%. Now you can check the results. Now results will be 12 seats for NPP out of 19 and 5 seats out of 19 for SJP, and Independent get 2 seats. Altogether 19, that's... Now you can try to enter even percentages. So total will be 100%. Let's see how it works. When you select any district name from the drop-down box in D3, the remaining numbers are automatically calculated. Or you can manually type the district name in D3. So, here you can learn some Excel formulas for preparing a chart of distribution of parliamentary seats according to election results. So you spend some time for this and type these formulas correctly in the right cells and create a table like this. Also, a positive analysis of the election results can be done by entering the number of votes or percentage predictions of the respective parties in the upcoming elections. You will also have the ability to determine the number of seats won by each party at the same time when the election results are released like. Okay, let's enter the mentioned formulas in the respective cells. The first row of the main table contains the district name and the number of seats to be distributed. The number of seats for each party is automatically calculated by entering the name of the district in the relevant cell, D3. Remember that messages such as error or hashtag /A will appear in these cells until you enter all the formulas correctly. First, let's type the formula in cell I3, then C5. In cell, I3 contains a VLOOKUP formula. For the district you select from the drop-down list in cell D3, this reflects the remaining number of seats to be distributed among all parties after one of the sanctioned seats is reserved for the bonus seat. This VLOOKUP formula helps for that. How to insert a drop-down list in cell D3. First, select data from the main menu, then select data validation. Adjust the required settings there. Select the list and then select the source that you need to use for this as reflected in the district column of Table 2, that is, table of the number of seats approved for each district and the number of votes obtained by the political parties. C5 reflects the number of votes obtained by the NPP candidate for the selected district. VLOOKUP formula is used for that. In C6, the theoretical value of the number of seats available for the said candidate is calculated in relation to this district. In C7, bonus seat eligibility is determined by the max formula for which one seat is reserved. In C8, the seat value is rounded down and includes the number of seats directly, without remainder/decimal, according to the number of votes obtained by the respective candidate. In C9, after calculating the number of seats directly available to each candidate, the remaining seats are calculated from the total number of seats for the district. Accordingly, the concerned candidate will be allotted one seat under first remainder. At C10, the second remainder is calculated. Accordingly, after one seat is given under the first remainder calculation, if there are more seats remaining from the total number of seats for the district, the eligibility is calculated here. Accordingly, one seat will be allotted under second remainder as well. After dividing the seats in this way, if there is any remaining, the remaining seat is given under the third remaining. It is calculated from cell C11. The number of seats won by the party, including remainder seat, for the respective district is shown in C12. Also, the sum of the number of seats won by all the parties, including the bonus seat, is denoted by C13. This figure should be equal to the approved number of seats for that district. The values related to the NPP party were calculated in this way by column C, and the values related to the SJP party are also expressed by the formulas from D5 to D11. Therefore, by writing the formulas from C5 to C11, D5 to D11, E5 to E11, and F5 to F11, as shown here, the number of seat distribution for each party can be obtained automatically, accurately, and instantly. The formulas you have entered in C5 to C12 must also be entered in the columns relating to other parties. That is, SJP, independent, and other parties should also be included. This formula should be entered from D5 to D12, E5 to E12, F5 to F12, and only the relevant cell references will change. In G5, the total number of votes won by parties eligible for seat allocation obtained more than 5% of valid votes is shown. In I5, the number of votes for one seat is calculated. Columns G8 to J10 contain numerical data to help calculate the remaining seats for each party. Also, in the lower part, the distribution of seats among the parties is shown through a pie chart. This chart also reflects the distribution of seats between parties depending on the district you select. So, try making a chart like this yourself to calculate analyze, and predict election results. Thank you, and please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get more videos with such timely importance and educational value.